Hi, I'm Bette Hochberger, CPA, CGMA. This channel aims to educate you on tax, tech, crypto, and finance-related news. Come learn how to grow and keep your wealth. In today's video, we're talking about the very exciting world of reasonable compensation. This is a topic that I have spoken about before, but I see so many questions. I see so many people not doing it right. So I figured let's maybe deep dive a little bit more into reasonable compensation for S corporation owners so we can get a better idea of what it is, how to calculate it, and make sure that you are compliant. And let's keep away problems with the IRS. Yeah, nobody likes that. So to start, what is reasonable compensation? Reasonable compensation doesn't have a numeric definition, right? So the IRS says that if you're an S corporation owner, you need to have a reasonable compensation, but it's hard to know what exactly that means. A lot of times, especially when people are new to their business, they'll come and they'll say to me, "Bet, what should I pay myself?" And I can't really just give you a number, right? I can't pull it out of thin air and say, well, here, pay yourself $50,000 because that sounds reasonable, right? Because we're not talking about a dictionary definition of reasonable. We're talking about reasonable compensation as it pertains to the IRS. So the best way, and probably one of the easiest ways to figure out what your reasonable compensation is to do a compensation study. And that's a fancy way of saying we're going to look and see what is it that you do in your business, right? What are the actual duties that you perform and the functions that you fill in your company as the business owner, as maybe a key employee, right? What are you doing in your business? And we need to know everything, right? Are you mopping the floors? Are you doing sales? Are you overseeing all of the other employees, right? We really need to know what it is that you do to figure out what that reasonable compensation entails to determine the fair and appropriate salary level for you as a business owner. With that information, we can take that and pull it together with a lot of industry data to come up with what would be reasonable compensation, right? This is super, super important for tax compliance because if you say, well, yeah, I have an S corporation, I'm an S corp owner, and I don't know what reasonable compensation means, so I'm not going to pay myself anything. No, the IRS is coming for you, okay? They can actually come in and audit you if you're an S corporation owner who does not have any payroll at all. I have seen it happen. I have represented people to the IRS in that situation. It stinks. Don't give them an excuse to come in and audit you, right? We can help you with the compensation studies. We can help you figure out what you should be paid based on what you're doing, and you'll stave off a lot of IRS problems. You definitely need it for tax compliance, right? You need it for a little bit of peace of mind because it's a good thing to know how much people doing what you're doing are getting paid, right? It's good for you to know if you're paying yourself a market rate or not. It's also really helpful for your business valuation to know, hey, if I needed to sell my company, the job that I'm performing in my own business is valued at X amount, right? So from our perspective as CPAs, I always tell people, it's one of the first questions I ask. I always tell people, you have to be on payroll as an S corp owner. So many people I've talked to come in and say, oh, my old accountant never told me that. I've never heard I have to be on payroll. It's super, super important. And as far as these compensation studies, we perform them using a provider that actually offers protection from IRS scrutiny and audits. So it's a serious thing. You want to take care of it. You want to make sure you're paying yourself right. You want to keep the IRS away. And if you have any questions, drop a comment and we'll see you next time. Thank you for sticking around. I hope you learned something new. Please leave a comment, like, and subscribe to my channel if you want to continue improving your tax and financial literacy. Bye.